So ChatGPT is, hold on a second, please. Let me ask ChatGPT what ChatGPT is. It's an advanced artificial intelligence chatbot created by OpenAI. It is built to understand and generate human-like text, allowing to have natural conversations, ask questions, learn new things, get help with writing, research, and other creative ideas and more. Things. They have the free version and they have the paid version. Now I'm using the free version. I know I'm going to probably have a little bit more benefits if I get the paid version, but the free version actually is doing everything I need to do at the moment. So now to get ChatGPT is easy. You go to your app store, all right, and you search for ChatGPT, and you download it. Now there are lots of other artificial intelligence that advanced chatbots that you can download, but I just moved with ChatGPT. It was the one I discovered first, and I've been using it for a very long time, and it has been giving me lots of this thing, though it is very restrictive with the things it's allowed to tell you. But I always find a way to go around it. I heard that DeepSeek AI is probably better at some other things, but ChatGPT is like very good at what I need it to do for me. So when you're done downloading ChatGPT, the next thing there's Grook. Elon Musk just launched his own. It's Grook AI. But I'm not someone who okay, I've not tried Grook AI. It's only ChatGPT I'm using, and that's what I am using. Once you're done signing up and everything, you're going to have a page like this. All right, now I want you to look at this particular piece as more like um imagine you have that mentor, all right, that you can always ask questions. Imagine you have that friend that have access to all the information in the world. Not all the information though. ChatGPT, the things it actually has access to are restricted. It doesn't have access to all the information in the world. But at least majority of the information. Now, me as a person now, all right, the reason why I use ChatGPT, like there are lots of things that okay, look at what I asked it now. I asked it this it. If I go to Google, I would start searching for something like this. It'll take me time. I was gonna start reading some news article and all of those things. All right. I have asked it a lot of questions, a lot of questions. So I don't use Google anymore. I use ChatGPT. Business question when it comes to I'm drafting out some things. When it comes to analyzing some things, even when it comes to building code itself, I can give it a prompt to help me generate some form of code and just build it for me. It's like very, very helpful. But the thing about ChatGPT now is that all right, you need to ask it the specific question in the way it's going to actually understand. I have an intensive 2 hours training on ChatGPT. This is not actually an intensive training we are doing here. I'm just trying to like introduce you to it. And after this session, I want to drop the recordings of that training. So for those who want to delve deeper into that, you can actually take your time to go through those videos. But let me ask ChatGPT a question. Why do you think the markets are haunting my stop losses this week? Last week, I had 16 And you see, I'm asking it a question, like it's a human being. Let me try to do this to be sure I didn't make some error. Why do you think the markets are hunting my stop loss this week? Last week I had 16 TP2s and 10 stop loss. Let me just use SS. So I'm putting a stop loss is few soon SLs. Mind you, my CP2s. Because let me for mind you, my CP2s are 1 is to 4 RR, so my profit margin for my wins are usually very, very high. This week, yes. Like anything you need it to do for you. So I use it to assist me in analysis, to assist me in lots of things. Those are audio planes. I don't want to actually bore people, so I'll just leave it in like that. Does anticipation we can see, right? So most times they are you can ask it any question. It's going to like search for things. You can ask it to like, oh, any information you want to ask it for. If it's in music, you're trying to get the lyrics, ask it, it's going to bring it for you. If it's you're trying to write a CV for something, trying to draft out a CV, tell it to write for something to write for you. If it's trading, you are trying to analyze a fundamental news coming out, ask it's going to explain it to you, it's going to give you reasons, like just like how we did last time. So it's like a very, very useful companion in all aspects of life, which includes trading. So that is what I use for a lot of my fundamental needs when I'm trying to analyze how do like I said, when I'm done doing my own personal analysis, I ask ChatGPT for its own analysis and its reasons. It brings it, I compare both of them together. Then if both of them are similar or both of them are the same thing, it's a much more easier decision for me. If both of them are similar, I have to make a choice. I'll read through ChatGPT's own reasons, I'll read through my own reasons, and search some other things online and see if I'm going to go to ChatGPT on myself. So like that's just it. It's just that as that friend who is ready to answer any question you want. You can even use this as an emotional model as a therapist itself. Therapist, ask it some weird questions. Okay, how to stop being a user, something like this. Okay, can I this is nice things, or you can do how to stop procrastinating. Let me end this one. That is basically that about the chat um GPT that I was telling you about. So everybody are going to use theirs differently. Obviously, you understand, but we are currently in an era where things have been made very, very easy. Things have been made very, very easy with the invention of lots of these things. So if these things can actually make your trading easier, this things can actually give you an edge in trading. This things can actually you know, make you predict the news better, make you understand the markets better, and all of those things. Why I know you can even use to own back test self can ask to back test for you, but that's a long thing. It's actually in the video if you want to watch. So let me ask it, what is a US government shutdown? Why did the government shut down, and what were the consequences of this in the US economy? Explain in simple, understandable terms. So I don't want to start speaking grammar for me. It's very used to writing lots of big grammars. Okay, so let's see what it gave us. Wait, before we see what it gave us, let's check this market and see if there's any new setup for us. We have Egypt. I've dropped Egypt setup already. This one has given two reactions. After the third reaction, I'm going to call it out for the fourth reaction. This market looks so confused today. And one thing about Forex now, is that you learn from experience. So probably the first year's government should actually happened. Maybe on that particular week you kept trading and then you lost a certain amount of money. It was not your fault. That was like the first time you were trading when something like that actually happened. Okay. Next 4 years or next 5 years, if the US government should actually happen, by then you're probably trading like up to like 500K in capital. If a US government should actually happen, once you notice you stop trading for that week, then you continue the next week. And the week they're going to actually end the shutdown, once you know that that will end the shutdown, you're not going to trade that week. And then you continue the next week. That's the experience of trading. You're not going to know it all. You keep learning and going and going. Okay, so let's go to what the US government shutdown. A US government shutdown happens when the US government runs out of money to operate because Congress hasn't approved a new budget or a temporary funding bill. So, what is a budget? A budget is like money allocated for something. Okay, money allocated for something. So, when we had that financial planning, this thing, I talked about a monthly budget, all the things you're meant to spend money on monthly, every single week, um, which has to do with feeding, data, stuff like that, all the money that's meant to be spent being allocated. and you cannot actually exceed that money already because that's what you already budgeted to spend. You cannot buy more than you already have budgeted for a week and stuff like that. That's how the US government works. That's how Nigeria government works and everything like that. Okay, so they need that money to run. I think the budget is usually for a fiscal year. Probably is either for 1 year or for I'm going to ask that question after this one. Okay. So the government are going to actually submit their proposal, what they want to use the money for, and all of those things. Then the Congress will have to agree on how much, like they basically will review what they brought. The reviews as okay, this is what you want to spend on salary, this is what you want to spend on defense, this is what you want to spend on healthcare. If they can't agree with them in time, the wallet closes and the government offices and services have to stop working temporarily. So basically, these people brought their budgets. This is actually our budget. So this is what we are looking to spend. And Congress looked at it and were like, this is wrong now. How you want to spend this amount on defense? What are you defending? How do you spend this amount on healthcare? What do you want to, what extra do you want to do in the healthcare sector? Probably they found some loopholes and they saw that at this point, people are still now want to move money, we know nice. So they rejected it. And when they rejected it now, many government offices and services have to stop working. So the shutdown usually happens because of political disagreement between Republicans and Democrats. That's just like PDP and APC, or the Congress and the president. They fight over what to include in the spending plan. For example, whether to fund certain projects like border security or climate programs, how much money to spend on defense, how much, how much. If I feel like this money you were saying you want to spend is too much now, how much? Do you understand? How to reduce national debt and stuff like that. So they will not actually approve it because they don't agree with it. I don't know what the budget was. I don't know the things that were actually, I will actually ask ChatGPT the things that they actually in disagreements that made them not to approve it. So federal workers are the people that are working with the US government. They will be sent home to go and rest without paying them salary. Essential workers must still work, but often without immediate payments. The government will be owing them salary. The US government. Then public servants services, they slow down the rate of passport offices closed down, national parks shut down, economic data releases like job reports, inflation updates can get delayed or cancelled. The consequences, economic slowdown, less government spending means less money in circulation, and that slowdown affects business activities. Lower consumer confidence, people worry about the economy and they spend less, especially government employees who still miss their paychecks. Stock market instability. Investors hate uncertainty, so markets often become volatile during shutdown. Reduce government services, delay in things like passport processing, small business loans, housing programs, hurt ordinary citizens, loss in GDP. Every week of shutdown can shave off billions of dollars from the US economic growth. So 2018 to 2019, there was a 35-day shutdown, longest in US history. 800,000 workers were sent to their homes without payment for 35 days. They didn't pay them salary. The US economy lost $11 billion, according to Congressional Budget Office. After the reopening, about 3 billion were permanently lost because some economic activities never recovered. So summary, just a pause in US government operations because Congress does not approve the funding in time. Why does it happen? Political disagreement over how to spend government money or how much to spend. What are the effects? Government workers don't get paid, services get shut down, confidence drops, economy loses billions. Let me see if ChatGPT can access this information. What were Congress in this agreement or Border security. Border security, that's the whole Trump immigrant this thing. One party wanted to spend billions on border security, and while the other party refused to fund it, arguing it's unnecessary and wasteful. Trump and his ICE people. The thing, it feels like I'm chatting with my friend. To look at it now, this is better. So this was actually 2018, it was 2019. They went to spend $5.7 billion to build a wall along the US-Mexico border. But this people believed a wall was, but the other people believed that it was not necessary. Let me ask, okay. Okay. $5.7 billion to build a wall. Congress said this is not necessary. We don't need to do this. So that money is money you want to go and waste. So you can see it. It just has all the information. You can keep getting, be making and building yourself. It's a yearly budget. It's for a fiscal year. So every single year they keep bringing new budget, and the Congress keep approving for that particular year. So it's like more like a yearly budget and spending budget. The federal government yearly spending budget. So you see it, and all of those. You can use your own ChatGPT to also ask some questions, play around ChatGPT, so you can get yourself accustomed with some things. And that is going to be it for this session. Thank you very much for joining, and see you guys in the next session. I'm going to drop the recording of this one alongside the recording of the one we did very early this morning on the group chat before 12:30, so you can have access to it. Then I also dropped the two trainings we did earlier on ChatGPT, so you can see more things you can actually also do with artificial intelligence. Thank you very much for joining once again. And see you guys in the next session. Have a lovely, fantastic, beautiful, amazing, and lovely day. Bye.